Let's talk about translators and writing in a foreign language. How to use a translator successfully. Translators. Translators can rarely be used by themselves as the translation is, well, lacking. And also, you should know, in most classes using translators is considered cheating. But translators can be useful if you know what problems to look for. Instructors know when translators are being used because, and if you know these, then you can help yourself, there are words that are not translated into the foreign or second language. So you take your language, plug it into a translator, but not all the words are going to be translated. So check for those words. There are extraneous words that are randomly put into your translation. These are extraneous words in the language that you're trying to translate into. And you need to read for these words and take them out. You use tenses you have not learned. This is not the translator's fault. This is your fault. You use vocabulary that you have not learned or are synonyms of words your textbook uses, but there are ways to avoid this as well. Also, your teacher will know and use a translator when what you put down is so bogus, it could only come from a translator. A translator does not know which vocabulary you are learning or which tenses you have learned in your foreign or second language class. Vocabulary that is not in your text is a giveaway to your instructor that you've used a translator, and that is considered cheating. So, how do you avoid this? Make sure all the vocabulary you are using in your composition or exercises is the same vocabulary that is used in your textbook. This means you will have to open your textbook and use the vocabulary from the chapter you are in or previous chapters. There are usually vocabulary lists at the end of each chapter. Tenses are also a dead giveaway. If you use a tense that you've not learned yet, your instructor will probably ask to talk with you and you will have to redo the written work. If you have only learned present tense, then you will be expected to use only present tense. Do not use any tense that has not been taught yet. Most texts have a list of what grammar is taught in what chapter, so you can check in your text to see what you are supposed to know. Normally, this is found at the beginning of the chapter or sometimes at the beginning of the textbook, where they have the breakdown of what is being taught for each chapter. Do not translate word for word from one language to another. This rarely works. For example, I pick up my clothes or I pick my clothes up or I pick up my clothes. Pick up is one of those verbs in English that has two parts, and that second part changes the meaning. The part pick means something completely different than pick up. How else could you express this? Gather would be a verb that states exactly what you want to say. It's weird in English, but it is one word, and you will have better luck translating or looking it up in another language. Sometimes you might have to change the meaning a bit. Clean my room might not be exactly the same thing, but it is close, and clean is one word. Pick up is not, although it means roughly the same thing. Be careful with two-part verbs in English. Idiomatic phrases generally do not translate. If you type in, "It cost me an arm and a leg," this will not come out well. What are you really saying? "It was really expensive." This will translate. Sayings do not translate. If you type in, "A penny saved is a penny earned," you will also get a strange translation. Most languages have their own sayings, and most of the time they are not the same as ours. Be careful when trying to translate groups of words, as most translators know less than you do, and the more words involved, the worse the translation. Remember that word order differs from one language to another. Also, your instructor knows what mistakes translators make, even if you do not. Beware of word order from translators. Review what comes out of a translator. You will have a better translation if you state your idea in the most precise, straightforward language possible. Again, do not use idiomatic phrases or slang. Example, "I hang out with my bros." What is a different manner in which to express this? I spend time with my friends. Hang out and bros are slang. So, how do you write a foreign or second language? Watch my next video, How to Write in a Foreign or Second Language. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.